and welcome in everyone. It's Laura. It's good to be here today. I'm going to just give everybody a second here, a minute here or so to join the chat. There is a couple things that I want to talk about before we jump into pulling some cards today. We've got some pretty significant energies playing out. I've got the laptop in front of me because I do want to talk about this new moon and this solar eclipse energy and what we're kind of sitting in right now currently with the astrology, with the moon transiting through Pisces. And so I know most of you have already noticed that I've made quite a few changes to the channel. Hello, Nella. Welcome in. Oh my God, what a nice surprise to see you here. So first, I just want to have a little chit chat. Welcome, Nella. Nella's new, so say hi to Nella, everybody. So this is usually an all 12 zodiac signs, and I dig into all 12 signs. But first, I want to talk about a couple of changes that I've made to the channel. So I know I've spoken to a lot of you personally about it. And so I'm back doing the daily collective messages. First off, I've been utilizing some editing tools and kind of changing the way that I do the daily messages. I know a few of you have said you don't like the changes. Some of you like the changes. And so I'm kind of just experimenting right now with editing tools and switching it up, trying to draw a new audience to the channel, trying to kind of get it to grow. And it has been growing. I think there's like 86 new subscribers in the last month. Nice to meet you, Tanya. Hello. Hello. And so yeah, I'm just kind of getting back in the groove because during that Cancer retrograde, it was rough. I had no drive to create anything at all. And now that I'm back in creative mode, I am making a lot of changes. Hello, Zandra. Welcome in. We've got a new member. Nella has joined us. So I'm loving it. So I'm getting back into the dailies. I am going to stay consistent with the weekend check-in. I will not be posting regular content on Sundays. I need to take that day and to rest and to recalibrate. I'm still going to stick with the weekly twin flame forecast. Nella, you would just love Xandra. She is amazing. I have known Xandra for years. She's one of the first people I connected with way back when on the journey. I think like either it was 2019 or 2020. So, and she is from the UK. So I actually met her in person when I journeyed to the UK last summer. And so I do think I'm going to start phasing out the zodiac sign. She is a UK lady. Yes, she is. She's one of my besties from the UK. We chat quite frequently, Nella. And so Nella's new to my path. I met her before Christmas. Oh yay, I'm so glad you follow her. Yay. Yeah, she delivers some really beautiful messages for the collective. So I do think I might phase out the zodiacs. I wanted to mention that. I just want to get a feel for that. And I'm thinking about if I phase out the zodiacs from this channel, I'm thinking about starting a second channel strictly for monthly zodiacs, but I'm not quite there yet. I do want to talk about the energies today. Oh, and I do want to quickly mention the book club that I launched in January. It's feeling a little bit overwhelming with everything else that I've got going on right now in my personal life and with this expansion with the channel and my business. And I have started writing my own book. And so I really want to dedicate like the next 10 to 12 weeks focusing on creating my own book. And so I'm still going to have the book club there in the background. I encourage you to still read a spiritual book every month. I might get back in the swing of it come summer, but it's not on my top priority right now because right now I need to get my story out there and maybe one day it'll be a part of our book club. So I wanted to mention that. So you are still encouraged to read. If you choose books of your own to read each month, please feel free to share that in the Facebook group, in the private Facebook group, because it will give all of us a little idea of some other books out there. And I just encourage you to keep reading, but it's not going to fit into my schedule the next little bit. So with that being said, let's talk about these energies. we have so much going on right now. I've got the laptop here and I'm looking at the eclipse energy. So the moon's kind of moving through Pisces right now. And if I were to look at the current energy, the moon's at 12 degrees 17 right now. It's going to be creating some very significant, thank you, Tanya. It's going to be creating some pretty significant transits leading into the eclipse. And so tomorrow, there's really not much going on with the moon today other than that square with Jupiter and Gemini, which I do feel is actually significant. But there's a closing out of toxic cycles or codependencies or anything that keeps us distracted on the journey or tempted to veer off path. And so with the moon tomorrow in a trine to Mars, a conjunction to Saturn, a sextile to Uranus, conjunction to Venus retrograde that just dipped back into Pisces today, and that Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees. Like, this is it. This is a purge. This is a cleanse. And we're kind of at that pivot point where anything that is no longer aligned with these energies that we're being asked to step into is going to have to leave, whether it's people or, habits or like the book club for me right now. It's kind of got to go in the background. It's kind of got to leave for a little bit to make space for what I'm creating. And so just keep that in mind because we are being encouraged to take that action, but eclipses really aren't super big for manifesting, right? We're kind of just here to embrace the fated flow of all of these energies coming through. So be prepared for just anything. I want to say anything over the coming days. And the day after the eclipse, we have Neptune shifting from Pisces to Aries. And so that's pretty significant, right? When we get to that anaretic degree, and we've been at that anaretic degree with Pisces and Neptune. So there's a lot of dream-like energy. There's a lot of abilities to manifest, but the Aries energy, when it shifts into Aries, it's like you've got to take action. You've got to take action on something. So let's touch base on this eclipse because the eclipse is actually not exactly exact with the sun. And so the eclipse is happening a little bit prior to the new moon. But both of these transits happening, the eclipse and the new moon, are all happening. And I pulled the chart from my local area. So Xandra, it's going to be a little bit different for you. In my local area, it is going to be all happening in the first house. That the first house is going to be in Pisces when this eclipse happens. And so I'm going through a very significant shift right now as a Pisces rising. I've got this Pisces stellium in that first house and the Aries stellium sitting in my first house. And so there's an ending and a beginning happening, and I'm feeling it very profoundly. I'm also questioning a lot when it comes to self-worth and self-value, and am I even worthy to continue this journey? And so I think we all go through those spirals. So I'm just being very candid and sharing that with you, especially with all of the changes that I've made recently. And so this solar eclipse is happening at 8 degrees 53. The energy of the Strength card and the energy of the Knight of Swords. And so the Knight of Swords is saying we're going to have to watch our words. The Knight of Swords holds that sort of truth, but it's a very impulsive energy. And with the Strength kind of attached to that energy, we got a little bit of Leo energy kind of playing out there, right? And so it's the opposite of the swords versus the heart. And so there is this, we are worthy. Yes, we are. But I think we all still go back and spiral with those program beliefs at times. And so these energies really are asking us to have that clear direction. Because when these energies shift from Pisces to Aries, it's a fiery energy. It's a very passionate energy. It's an energy of creation, and it is connected to self. And so right now, I think we're all being asked to come out of illusions, to come out of fantasies, and to get grounded in reality. And then we'll have that new moon exact at 8 degrees 59. Again, the energy of Strength, but 59 connects to the Five of Swords in the tarot. And so the Five of Swords has many different meanings. It can mean manipulation from other people. It can mean self-manipulation. It can mean self-sabotaging patterns and behaviors that need to be healed. And so we're kind of at that halfway point of ascending the healing journey and being ready to move on. But there might be like a revelation coming through or a need to recognize your own patterns to get to that Six of Swords energy, right? And so it takes a lot of strength to look at your patterns and to realize that the common denominator in every single relationship in your life is you. And oftentimes we will sabotage things before they get off the ground, whether it's out of fear, fear of rejection, or fear of abandonment. And we got to get to that point where we come together, right? Because we don't have to be in this together. We don't have to be in this all alone. And so I think we're all learning the energy of unity, all while honoring self and self boundaries. I think that's a really big thing going on here, and they kept showing me, and I'm really stuffed up. I don't know. I've got this cold that's been trying to come on full force for a couple of weeks now, and I feel like it's coming. It's finally coming. But I was shown the energy of the Empress and the Four of Wands. So this really is the union energy of self, right? To be that empress is to be that creator. It's to consciously create our reality and to take those guided action steps. The Four of Wands, I oftentimes connect it to twin flame union. But when we talk about that Eros Gamos union or that soul merger, it is the energy of calling back all of these parts of ourselves and coming into that aligned union of self, right? We can't have that external union of anything in our lives without that unity within. And so we're kind of on the precipice, I want to say, of mastering duality. So we can live in a world and not play into the polarities anymore. So I'm going to leave it at that. We got some pretty intense energies. I noticed it was like almost 11:11 on the timer when I quit, just past it. But let's pull in with some cards. I was talking to Kate, and she's not in the live today because she's working. But she was like, "Please, please, please use that use that deck with all of those faces on the cards." Yeah, I was looking up. Yeah, 12:12 now, of course. So I'm going to use the guides of the hidden realms, and so thank you, Kate, for the suggestion. Look at that on the bottom of the deck, in the midst of the radiant fire. And that's where we're at, right? We got to kind of burn through the karma. We got to burn through the lessons. The card says inspiration. It says passion, obsession, and cleansing fire. And so we're learning to balance, right? I feel like shifting from Pisces to Aries. Pisces is the last sign. It's the final sign of the zodiac. It's the ending and the beginning. And then that's what I feel this side is, right? And then the fire energy of Aries. And it's like brute force. It is a 31 card. So there is like a Five of Wands coming through collectively, which I feel is this internal struggle that we're all kind of working with, right? As we move from water to fire, like big difference of energies, right? And then I got to point out below in the midst of radiant fire, we have every word has power. And doesn't that ring true? I'm actually getting chills down both of my arms. Every word we speak has power, right? Words are spells, words, thoughts, actions, emotions. This is what we use to manifest our reality. The card says education, power of persuasion, communication, and internal dialogue. And that's what I've been struggling with, is that internal dialogue lately, definitely. So every word we speak to ourselves, whether internally or externally, it does affect our vibration. It does affect our reality. And so how can you practice gratitude? I think we all need to be in the energy of practicing gratitude, because that enhances our manifesting abilities. Okay, so we're going to get one card for each of the zodiac signs with the guides of the hidden realm. Oh, look at that on the bottom of the deck. I pre-shuffled and I didn't know we get the High Priestess. And then we're going to pull from the Tarot of Dreams deck. Look at that. Below the High Priestess, we get the Nine of Wands and the Chariot. And so this is where we move on from being that wounded child, and we become that wounded healer, right? And so we are in that Pisces North Node energy, where we are grounding in the mystic healers of this new earth energy, of this ascension process. And so I don't think we're quite there yet. Something tells me around Cancer season, there's going to be a wave of grounded healers. There's going to be a wave or a shift coming through. And so right now we might be going into the darkness. I feel it, like I'm in that deep Piscean ocean, and Yeah, like I actually at 10 o'clock was like, oh crap, I got to get some makeup on. I'm going live at noon. I totally was not in the groove, but I always feel so much better when I channel. And so I think come Cancer season, there's going to be a shift. I also want to mention that Cancer energy, we do still have Mars in that post retrograde in the sign of Cancer. And it won't be out of the retrograde until it passes Mars and Leo at 6 degrees 11 from when it went retrograde, which I think is like April 27th, like the day after my birthday. So interesting little tidbit. But let's get at it and let's get a card for you, Aries. Let's see what Aries needs to know. So this can be applied to your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Jupiter, and your North Node. And so the card that we get for Aries, it's 21 cards. So I want to say, Aries, you are closing out a significant karmic cycle. If you look on the card, I love the imagery. This to me reminds me of like deer antlers. And so stepping into self-leadership here is what I want to say. The card actually says, Aries, death reclaims a life. So let go. You are in this sacred portal of death energy, right? Death, rebirth, it's all the cycles of life. And we go through many transformations throughout our lives. And so you are in this natural ending. And so work through the grief. This ending can be a career. It can be you just transforming from one state of being to another. Every time we transform who we are, and I've gone through many transformations in my life, we have to grieve the old us. And I'm getting chills down this side of my face. We have to grieve who we were. And so you think of the world card, it's connected to all of the fixed signs. So pay attention to those fixed signs in your birth chart, okay? And I did want to mention, I do have a free birth chart guide. All you got to do is go download it on the webpage. When I get off the live, I'll try and add it into the comments. If you want the free guide, go check it out. It's totally free. It's just the basics of trying to map out your birth chart to play it into how I channel these energies, but go check it out. But there's grieving here going on, and that's okay, right? I do think the grief is in the Piscean energy before we can take action. So what is this death reclaims a life? So this is you, oh, look, I'm so cold. Aries, this is you reclaiming your power. So yeah, this is you stepping into sovereignty. The Nine of Coins, this is pre-Empress. It's connected to Virgo, Venus and Virgo. This is you, independently owned and operated. This is what's coming through for you, Aries. How beautiful is that? And so you're blossoming. You are going through a rebirth process. And so you've got to trust that you've got a couple of spirit guides around you. We see the doves. It's like you're going through a purification. You're purifying your soul, Aries. And so I think you're on the precipice of completing a cycle, right? Because 9s, 10s are completions. And maybe you've been in this process for the last 9 months, or maybe this process will complete in another 9 months. But you've got to trust that good things are coming and you will be on the other side of this natural ending. I think it's organically happening, okay? All right. We're going to move on to Taurus next. What do we got for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. We get the consequence of fear. How appropriate. It's a 20 card, so there's also this quality of judgment coming through Taurus. It says contraction, the frequency of fear, and self-fulfilling prophecy. Throat chakra energy because of all of the blue on the card. So I don't know if there's fear of speaking your truth or there's fear of trying something new. But there's a need to move through fear. The judgment card I want to say is don't be so harsh on that self-critical energy. Don't be so critical of self. There might also be a need to make a judgment call. Oh, I do feel, look at, I've never really noticed that. Look at all of the little eyes here to that side of the person there. And then all of the light language, all of the light codes coming through in the throat. You are being asked to work through fear because your words do create worlds. And so you are here to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. What do you want to create? Do you want to create it out of fear or do you want to create that out of love? And so there's a pushing, I want to say, Taurus, for you. You are encouraged to speak your truth. So what is the tarot card for Taurus? Legacy. This is a legacy. So I feel more Virgo energy and it is connected to Mercury. So there is something here on the throat. And so do you want to repeat the traumas of the past, or are you here to be that cycle breaker and to walk through the doorway to create a new legacy? And so what seeds you plant during this eclipse, Taurus, is opening up the doorway for what you're here to create in 10 years from now and 20 years from now. And so you're breaking generational, I don't want to say curses, but generational patterns. So be mindful of that self-talk because you're building a legacy here. You're building generational wealth. That's what's coming through for you, Taurus, okay? Gemini is next. I took cold meds, but they haven't kicked in yet, so I'm a little bit stuffed up. Gemini, we get a 29 card, so there is a completion of a karmic cycle, and the card does say connection through the cosmos. I love it. So, oh, and I'm getting tingly. Look at all of the energy. I just feel you're tapping into higher truth, higher knowledge. We do have the moon square Gemini today. We are in Jupiter and Gemini. Yesterday, there was a transit when the moon was in Aquarius in a trine to Jupiter and Gemini. So that might be significant. There is this energy, I want to say, of community. Everything is coming together. This is the energy of everything is connected. Everything is connected. It's so crazy. Actually, I was talking to my aunt, actually my half aunt, my mom's half sister this morning. She was like, "Oh my God, everybody's middle name or this and that," and she was seeing all the connections. And I was like, "Oh, finally somebody in my family is waking up." And I said, "Wait till you do the numerology," and everything is connected. And so I do feel there's a lesson here, Gemini, connected to reciprocity, though. The law of reciprocity is what's coming through. And so 29 further breaks down to master number 11. So I think you're mastering a lesson. We can't give without receiving something of equal value in return. It doesn't always have to be tangible. It doesn't always have to be money. But you can't give and not be replenished in return, I think is a message. And we are all connected. And so everything I want to say is also a mirror. So what is this about with the tarot? Okay, we kind of come out sideways, but I put all the cards in the deck upright. I was guided to read everything upright today. And so you're expanding, right? It's connected to Libra, which is connected to relationships. And so Gemini and Libra, both air signs, they trine each other in a birth chart. And so I think you are healing this truth of, hey, you block your own path when you give and you give and you give and you don't receive anything back. And so I feel you're in this portal of needing to rest, needing to rejuvenate, needing to sit with this universal truth that is probably washing over you. And I think you're doing a deep dive into some heart healing here is what this feels like for you, Gemini. So rest. I do feel it's like finally like that armor, it's like wide open with receiving downloads. And so there might be a block on the heart that needs to be worked through. But I do feel you're grounding in light codes. And right now it might feel like your path is a little blocked, but you're right where you need to be. Okay. All right. Cancer is up next. What do we got for Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. All eyes are open. I love it. I'm so cold. Yes, the changes are here. I am so excited for them too. Okay, we get inspired vision, Cancer. We get clarity, perception, re-evaluation. I think you are seeing all kinds of spiritual truths around you. It's a 25 card. There is a Knight of Wands quality. And so I feel like accelerated ascension. I also feel like the Knight of Wands is saying, find your courage, find your strength and your determination to go after seeking everything that you are inspired to learn about. And so you're probably coming into like new inspired visions for creating a path or stepping into your purpose, Cancer, and you're coming into a new found clarity. So it's like your perception is shifting, tingles everywhere. I'm tingly too, Nella. I am so tingly too. And so it's like, I just was like, you're like the green-eyed child, and you're looking at the world through this childlike wonder is what it's feeling like. I'm getting the chills down my face. So what is the tarot card coming through for Cancer? Really beautiful messages today. We get the Tower. Okay, so I love it though. Like I actually had a conversation with Xandra yesterday. And the tower. Most people fear the tower. I love the tower. You want to know why? It breaks you free from stagnation. It breaks apart every false belief, and it comes in at lightning speed, so you can see things from that clarity, right? And so I do feel like this tower, it's allowing you and giving you the strength to rebuild. So because I'm talking to Cancer, yeah, because I'm talking to Cancer, it's connected to Mars, right? Mars is connected to Pluto. The tower is connected to Mars and Pluto. And so we're still in that post retrograde of Mars retrograde energy, post retrograde energy. So it's like things are rebuilding slow and steady, I want to say. I think the tower already came though, but now it's like rebuilding. And so the tower can hold a lot of meanings. The tower can be external. Usually it's external, but it's also like something inside of you is shifting, and you're not going to see the world the same when you rebuild this foundation on solid ground, right? Okay. All right. Leo. Leo is up next. I don't have my list of zodiacs, so I'm winging it. So if I miss somebody, let me know. But we're going to dig into Leo next. What do we got for Leo? Listening to the ancestors. I love it. You are welcome, Nella. We get listening to the ancestors. Leo, it is a 13 card. There is a death quality coming through. There is a very significant, I want to say, transformation coming through for you, Leo. It says inherited patterns, traditions, integrated wisdom versus knowledge. Okay, so I got to mention, like, everything lately has just been so divinely pieced together. I have a lot of clients all over the world, and I was connecting with somebody else from the UK, not Zandra, but somebody else. And she was asking me about the second ascension. And she was like, she got this download about the first ascension and the second ascension. And we were chatting back and forth, and I got complete body tingles. And so there's like two ascensions. The first ascension is the original awakening, where you're mind blown and you realize the inherited patterns, and you realize the traditions that have been passed down, that you're here to break, that you're here to ascend, right? That you're here to ascend. And then the second ascension is integrating the wisdom and turning it into grounded knowledge. And so, Leo, really listen to the ancestors. I do think your ancestors are talking to you. I think they are asking you to integrate a new world. I do feel you are being asked to step into that teaching role, sharing the wisdom, sharing the knowledge of the patterns that have been inherited and what you've overcome. So I think you're completing, I want to say, the second ascension, Leo. That's what that feels like. And look at that. Oh, I just noticed that. So third eye. There is a clear vision for the future coming through for you. And if you think of 13, it breaks down to 4, which is all about foundations, right? So rebirthing your foundation as well. And that one come out right away. And there you are, moving on from the patterns, I want to say. And so Aquarian energy, Mercury and Aquarius, very progressive, right? It's connected to Uranus. It's connected to change. It's connected to innovation. So you are here to bring new innovative ideas into the collective. There is something here that does need to be moved on from. And I think you're going to have to put that mask of steel on. I feel you're very empathic, and you can't let that empathy keep you in that 5 of Swords energy that I talked about at the beginning of this whole video today. And so what is it that you need to move on from? Yeah, 13. I love that number. So get ready to communicate your truth too. I think this is about communication and bringing forward those new ideas. So the ancestors are bringing you ideas. Okay, Leo, we're going to move on to Virgo next. What needs to come through for Virgo, please? I'm going to take that one because it kind of peaked. Every word has power, Virgo. Ace of Wands, education, power of persuasion, communication, internal dialogue. You are being asked to take heart-centered action. There is maybe fear coming through with all of the red on the card. It does connect to that root or that base chakra, which is where we house all of our financial security fears, all of our emotionally security, our emotional security, all of those fears, all of those program beliefs that say, hey, I'm not worthy, I can't do this. I think maybe you are learning and teaching at the same time. There is an expanded view coming in. We see all of this expansion around the crown. We see the third eye, and we got that heart energy sitting at the throat. So it kind of feels like you might got a big lump in your throat. There could be a need to speak something straight from the heart. And so the power of persuasion. And so we are here, it's interesting, we are here to be authentic, right? If we're not sharing our authentic truth, if we are not bringing forward messages out of authenticity, then we are adding to the problems of the world, right? And so we can't change who we are to appease people around us. I've actually been working with a media company in the United States with all of these editing tools and trying to expand the channel. And I was really put off last night. I'll just be honest. I was put off. She kind of said, well, I don't think you're getting the views because I think people don't like your voice. And I think you need to take a class and learn how to speak publicly, learn how to change your voice and how you talk. And I'm like, but that's who I am. I can't change how I talk. Or she's like, people probably don't like your Canadian accent. I'm like, well, I'm Canadian and that's who I am. And I can't change who I am at the core. That would not be authentic, right? And I can't bring messages forward if I feel they're not authentic because I'm here to shine that light on authenticity, right? Yeah, it hurt. I definitely have been sitting in my head spinning wheels with that one because her suggestion was, well, take all your content and we'll edit your voice with AI. I'm like, but that's not real. That's not me. And so if people don't like my content because of my voice, well, then I guess they're not meant to be on my channel. And if I'm meant to be a small channel, at least I'm making an impact. It doesn't matter, right? Because we've had that conversation. Nella, Jesus only had 12 followers, right? And so that's that for me. But yeah, speaking from the heart is a big thing coming through for you, Virgo, because there is this Ace of Wands quality. There is this ability to create something really great here. So trust that you are here to educate people all while staying on the path of educating yourself. Thank you for the no, Tanya. Yeah, like that's like a big no from me. Definitely a big no from me. There you go, Virgo. That Queen of Swords is just clarifying that. It is the path of authenticity, right? If we can't share our authentic selves, and if people don't like that, too bad. You, I want to say, Virgo, are an earth angel. You hold that sword of truth. It's the sword that severs. It's the sword that cuts through illusions. And you are here to be a truth speaker. And it's time to lovingly speak your truth. Okay, Virgo? All right. Virgo, is it Scorpio next? I think it might be Scorpio. No, it's Libra. Libra's next. I almost forgot Libra. I do that sometimes. Okay, Libra. What do we got for Libra next? What do we got for Libra? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Well, I got to take them. They both come out and they both flip. So Libra, you get two oracle cards today, and I'm really cold as I say that. So Libra. We just had Lilith transit from Libra into Scorpio, and so right now you're frozen for a little bit of time. It's not time to take direct action right now, Libra. It's time to still stay in that slowed down energy because you're still letting go of those old stories. What I want to say is you are going through a massive portal of heart healing. You do need to slow down. Look at on this card. It looks like this person is resting. The eyes are closed. You are here to meditate. Oh, look at that little mouse. Oh, I've got a story. Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah. So I was like, I was really taken back from that. Um, so I actually I was woken up at like 2:30 in the morning with my security camera notified me that there was a person outside at my gate and totally jumped out of bed, freaked out. It was not a person, it was a freaking raccoon. Didn't even know we had raccoons in the neighborhood. I thought, and it was so big it actually like picked up as a person. Anyway, little tidbit there. But Libra, you are surrendering attachments. You are releasing unconscious patterns. So it's not quite time to go full steam ahead. There is this energy of a tower coming through because this is a 16 card. And so you're still rebuilding your beliefs as you release these old patterns, these old ideals. And so I do feel the letting go of stories is asking you to just release, purge it all. We see the light codes again coming through the throat. And so I want to say you're going through a recalibration. There is a Four of Swords card, I believe, or is it a Nine of Swords card? I know there's like a Swords card, not in this deck. In another deck where it's like the picture of a woman frozen in a grave. And you might feel like that a little bit because you're expanding, you're getting new information, and you're doing a lot of heart healing here. And so pretty soon you're going to go full steam ahead because this is a 34 card, okay? So Libra, it's like you're in this portal of ascending, transcending for that accelerated ascension coming up here. So let's get you a tarot card and let's see what needs to combine with this message. You get two. So I guess we'll stick with the two themes. And so trust. Things are still being woven, Libra. I am so cold. We get the Three of Wands to the Lovers. You've manifested some type of twin soul union here. There is a twin soul union coming through. The Lovers is a deep spiritual connection, a deep past life connection, whether you call it soulmates, divine counterparts, twin soul, it doesn't really matter. But it's here. The manifestation is here. And I do believe it will come in during Aries season. We get the sun in Aries between Aries season and Gemini season because we get the Gemini. And so things are still being woven, but trust, your ships are coming in. Okay, Libra? All right, now we're going on to Scorpio. All right, what do we got for Scorpio? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. What do we got for Scorpio? All right, Scorpio, you don't want to talk to me today. What do we got for Scorpio? Interesting. Okay, I was like, it's not coming out again in the midst of the radiant fire. Heck yeah, that is that Lilith and Libra energy. If that isn't obsession, if that isn't passion and inspiration, I don't know what is. You are in the midst of a cleansing fire, and so things might feel a little bit challenging right now for you, Scorpio, whether you're Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. So it's like you're clearing old patterns as well. And so I just feel like almost like the Kundalini energy rising is what it's feeling like through my root chakra up through my crown. And so it's like all of the old timelines are probably integrating and cleansing. You're in this rebirth portal. I want to say the Phoenix energy. And so Lilith is going to be transiting through Scorpio for probably about the next year. And it's going to conjunct any major Scorpio placements. So get ready to cleanse any obsessive tendencies to find that inspiration for what it is you're truly passionate about. So what is this cleansing fire bringing forward for Scorpio? Oh, patterns. We get the patterns. So yeah, it's like you're in this bubble of expansion, I want to say, because it's Jupiter. We get the Eight of Swords. This is the Devil card in the Minor Arcana. It's similar, right? Because it's a trappings. It's a mental imprisonment, but we all have to go into that mental imprisonment to go through this expansion to come out the other side authentic. You can see she's naked in the bubble. They're actually showing me, I watched that movie Wicked. I've watched it about 4 times now since I bought the DVD. And Glinda, the good witch. She's not really a good witch. And so there's like a shift in perspective, right? Like the bubble's going to get burst when the expansion journey is over. And I just want to say, sometimes it's okay to be the bad guy in other people's eyes, right, Scorpio? Especially if you're a Scorpio ascendant, you are constantly fighting against darker forces. And usually the darkest force that you fight against is your own mental trappings. And so you're probably burning through a thought process is what I want to say here, Scorpio. And there might be that internal struggle because of the Five of Wands attached to the Oracle card. So you're in the midst of burning through some karma. So just be gentle with yourself, okay, Scorpio? We're going to move on to Sagittarius next. All the blessings everywhere. Victory. Like there's so much beautiful energy. I just feel this wave of just euphoria kind of washing over me. Look at all of the hearts. Look at all of the love around you. Look at all of the universal support all around you. I do feel something is coming full circle. I do feel a Six of Wands energy coming through. And I just think get ready to receive some type of blessing, Sagittarius. You are ruled by Jupiter. You are here to embrace this expansion journey. And so this eclipse is asking you to really open up to the energy of receiving. Release any blocks when it comes to receiving love, abundance, knowledge, because there are gifts from the universe coming in here, Sagittarius, and the synchronicities are all abound. Your wish is being granted. The star card is wish granted card. And so healing. I am so cold right now. This is beautiful. This is alchemy. This is healing. So plant that wish, Sagittarius, plant that seed, make that wish, release it to the universe, and trust that it's coming. The blessings are everywhere. You just need to see them, okay? All right. Capricorn. Capricorn is up next. Let's see what needs to come through for Capricorn today. Oh, I'm only going to take the one that flipped. So 26 card Capricorn, we do have a page of wands coming through for you. And so manifestation, divine partnership, frequency alignment. Beautiful message today. With all of the blue on the card, it is connected to the throat. Look at this swirling energy. I want to say soul star chakra. It came through. Oh, I'm getting tingles as I say that. It came through the soul star chakra. Came through in the daily message a couple days ago, I think. I pre-record them in advance. So I'm like, I go into the future energy, and then I got to remember, oh, I'm not on that timeline. I'm back in the present. But the soul star chakra, if you didn't catch that daily reading, it is the chakra above the crown. And I always call that chakra the halo, right? It's the halo. It's where the activation takes place. It's where the information downloads from. And so you're probably coming into some new co-creative abilities or manifesting abilities is what I want to say, Capricorn. And so there's a realignment happening here in the Page of Wands. Oftentimes it's connected to children. So it's like you're at the very beginning of a creation journey and divine partnerships. And I just want to say, like, this can be a twin flame, external partnership, or divine counterpart situation. But divine partnership for me is your partnership in manifesting as a co-creator with the higher power and with the divine. So what is this all about? Because there is manifestation here. Oh, we get the Four of Cups. And so there is an Ace of Cups trying to come through here. I don't know if you are a moon in Cancer. So check those Cancer placements, because there could be an oppositional energy coming through here for you, Capricorn, between Cancer and Capricorn. I don't know why that's coming through. But there's a need, I want to say, because eclipses are for releasing. Release some type of stuck, stagnant energy here connected to third party. There is an Ace of Cups here, but it always does start with self. And so I don't know if you've been sitting in this energy of feeling suppressed or depressed or soul suppression. Trust that the cup is there. You're looking right at it, but it does first start with self. And so you are at the beginning of manifesting your own divine partnership, whether it's with yourself or with the divine. But trust that there's this inertia, I want to say, that needs to be released first. Okay, Capricorn? Okay. Aquarius is up next. So let's see what needs to come through for Aquarius. Okay, the true source of power. Wow, this is feeling really potent. It's an 18 card, so there is like a moon quality to the card. And the one thing that stands out to me is the dragon. So the dragon energy, we all have an inner dragon that we have to face. And this is probably connected to that north node energy. The north node is the dragon's head. The south node is the dragon's tail. The card does say divine will, integrity, power versus force. True source of power comes from within. It doesn't come from brute force. It doesn't come from being loud. There is a lot being downloaded, I want to say. There's this cosmic expansion. Aquarius, we've got Pluto in Aquarius. So any early degree Aquarius placements, it is activating a rebirth or an ascension process for you, Aquarius. And so I just feel there's this fiery energy around. We do get the dragon card, and so pay attention to where you have Pisces and Virgo in your housing side. That Pisces Virgo axis is activating this inner dragon energy that needs to be looked at. So say if you are an Aquarius rising, you would normally have Pisces in your second house of self-worth and self-value. So you could be transforming the way you look at yourself, what you value in your life. And then that would put the dragon's tail in the eighth house. And so rebirthing maybe the self-talk or the negative self-talk or the criticism, right? Because Virgo can be very structured and critical of self and others at times because of that perfectionism tendency. And at times it actually serves you, Virgo. I know I'm a Virgo moon, but there's something here hidden. It's like you're going through this transformation process, I want to say, and you're kind of hiding it from everybody is what this feels like. It's like the monsters in the head, like you're really dealing with like an internal battle, I want to say, with a divine will, because we do all have free will, but when we get that higher calling, we do need to step into that higher calling here. And so I think you are being called to step into your true power here. It's like, I want to say source is washing over you. Yeah, it is. I don't know why I haven't done that for anybody else, but I flipped it over and I'm getting the chills again. Clarifying this is the death card, Aquarius. So we get Scorpio energy. We are in the year of the snake, and so you are going through a major shedding, and I do think this is directly linked to Lilith transiting into Scorpio. And so I want to say death as a portal, death as a teacher, and you're not going to be dying here, but there is something here that needs to be shed away. Maybe you're recognizing the snakes in your life that really need to be released. But I feel there's fear connected to this. I do feel great fear. I don't know why I flipped it over, but I'm going with it. There could be fear of a reunion. There could be this dragon in your head connected to a childhood romance or a pattern connected to childhood, because the Six of Cups can be patterns. But there's like great fear as you're being pushed into divine will of some sort. So get ready to face that inner dragon, I feel, over the coming days, okay, Aquarius? And Pisces, last but not least, what do we got for Pisces? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Pisces, please. What other sign was quiet like that? Was it Scorpio? The water signs, the mysterious signs. What do we got for Pisces? Okay, Pisces, holy crap. Love and partnership. It's a 12 card. And you do see the full moon in the background. So we are in a solar new moon eclipse. So plant that seed now. Maybe by the next full moon, there will be a love partnership coming in together for some type of mission work or collaboration. This person is right behind you. It's like you're one step ahead of this person, Pisces, is what I want to say. And there is a need to gain a new perspective here. There could be some power and control dynamics here that still need to be integrated, because true partnership requires you both to be equals, right? And so nobody's better than the other. True partnership, I want to say, requires the stripping away of gender roles, right? And there is a collaboration here. There's deep intimacy coming through for you, Pisces. There's love on the horizon. There's partnership on the horizon. And I just feel like a power couple energy coming through. So I think that the eclipse is clearing the path with all of the red on the card. So what else is coming through for Pisces? We get two. But there is a need to walk away from something first. So this love and partnership energy, this partnership coming in, I think it's already been manifested. But we do have Saturn and Pisces still. If I were to look at the laptop, it's at 24 degrees. So maybe you are still walking away from things as Saturn transits through Pisces. So it's like there's an ascension here. There's walking up the spiritual ladder. We see the full moon. So this love partnership, I feel, will be made manifest as we complete the North Node transit and the Saturn and Pisces transit, and then it's going to be coming in like wildfire. But there might also be a need to walk away from these types of energies. The Knight of Wands, you know, we all know the Knight of Wands. We like to call him the player card in the tarot, but it's just a card of a lot of passion. We also see the dragon on the card, and so maybe somebody needs to walk away from their player ways, or their inability to commit, or maybe you need to walk away from an inability to commit. Are you ready to receive this? Because once you walk away, I want to say, from whatever it is a block to true intimate union, this is coming in hot and heavy, and that's what I got for you, Pisces. So this was a lot of fun today, guys. I'm so glad to see Nella join the membership. I'm so happy that y'all kind of participated today. I love it when you interact. It makes it super, super fun. Let's peek on the bottom of the deck. We get emergence of protection. So do protect yourself, I think, over the coming days. Boundaries are important. Boundaries are important. It's not to keep people out. It's to respect our time, our space, and our energy, right? And those that are meant to be on our path will respect our boundaries. And we've got to trust that we all do have divine protection around us, right? As we step into our calling. Let's see. There's that fool. This is it. The day after the eclipse, Neptune moves into Aries, and we're on that precipice of a new beginning. So work through the illusions, work through the confusion, get ready to step into your power, because that new cycle, that new beginning is here. So I hope everybody has a great weekend with this eclipse energy. Work with it, set your goals, release it without any expectations, and I will see you all on the other side of the eclipse. I will see you all next Thursday.